Okay folks, we're good to go. It's Thursday night and it's 10 ball Scotch doubles. Just checking the streams up, and we are just about a minute or two away from the start. Let's have a look at who's in and just do a quick refresh. And the other thing I need to do is when the brackets goes up, I need to change that refresh. We've got a Trito and Tommy U. That's a good team. We've got Mr. Bill and Frankel, Popman and Wink at Me, and Senny and Magic One. And Bill and Frankel will be the favourites unless any other two get in, but there's only about a minute to go. We're actually early for a change. So, in fact, that's a good idea. While we're waiting, we'll just look at the rules. It's a handicap tournament. It's a race to 5 on the winner's side, race to 3 on the loser's side, and the handicap is a maximum of 2 on the winner's side. 2 racks, that is. It's not Moneyball handicap. And the loser's side it's 1 and the finals 2. The match timeout is 5 minutes. Once the room goes up, you'll get 5 minutes to get in it or you'll forfeit. There's a 30-second shot clock and a 15-second extension. And then we've got the venue. It's in Hard Times, the Hard Times table, tournament pockets, winner breaks. It's a call shot game, 10 ball, pocket size is narrow, or I think what used to be called tournament. And the 3 foul rule is on, and jump cues are on, and it's call money, of course. It's a call shot game. Spot money is off and rack money is off, and of course the handicap is games. So it's still on sign up. Now the last call has gone out there. Tournament is starting, needing players, so that should refresh in about a minute. You don't get very long to get in once that message goes up. Get my little plug in. Right, so the bracket is up. We'll do a quick refresh. And we see that Senny and Magic One are going to be playing a Trito and Tommy U. And Popman and Wink at Me are going to be playing Bill and Frankel. So the match we're going to go in is this one here. Now I'm imagining that Popman and Wink at Me are certainly going to get a handicap. I think they're going to get the 2 racks to start with. I think they'll get the maximum handicap. Now how come this? Ah, right, I'd scrolled down a bit. That was the problem. I was wondering why there was only 1 room up. So we'll wait and see if the bracket puts a handicap in. It's set to the 30-second refresh. Unless I've got nothing. It takes a while for this handicap to show up in the bracket, I've noticed. Right, we'd probably find out better if we went in the room. Maybe they're just lagging right now. Nope, all the players aren't in. Mr. Bill's at the table. Wink at Me and Frankel are in. And I've completely forgotten who's meant to be in the room. Oh, there we go. We're all in now. Wink at Me And well, it's actually a scratch match, which is a bit of a surprise. So off we go with the lag. That's not going to get there. Mr. Bill wins the lag. Race to 5. Couple of balls have gone in. 2 ball was one of them. I don't know what the other one was. The 2 and the 4. A shot in the 1. That 3 ball makes the pocket a bigger pocket. And as usual, we'll do a quick check. Well, everything's working. So a reminder for anybody who's never seen this, Scotch doubles is 2 players versus 2, and each player on each team plays a shot alternately. So Frankel's at the table at the moment. He's got no shot in the 5, unfortunately. Just looking for a safety, but the double kiss has maybe done him there. Well, 6 balls covering the pocket. And we're now streaming in 1080p, which I never thought would work very well, but it has worked in the last couple of streams I've done, and it's looking okay at the moment. Potman looking for cover there. He's left it wide open. Well, that's going to kiss nice off the 6. Now Frankel, he's got 2 choices what he can do. He can go off the rail and try and get across, but there's traffic in the way to play the 7 into that pocket, or he could try stunning up here. But again, there's traffic there as well. He could hit the 10 ball. It could go slightly wrong. Or he could actually draw and come across. So he's got 3 ways of doing it. Well, he's done the second one, and that's perfect. Perfect weight. I think Bill can just roll through. Yep. Little roll through for the 8. And Frankel will just have a little draw off that 8. And another bit of good news is you're going to be able to see all of this stream tonight. I've still got a few days of my week off left, so we'll watch the whole tournament, or we'll watch all the matches that I can stream in the tournament. So it's double elimination as well. And the first rack goes to Frankel and Bill. I'm surprised, I'm still surprised that Potman and Wink at Me weren't getting a handicap, but that's the other reason that was a bit sort of surprising, is the fact that Wink at Me and Potman don't play a lot of 10 ball. They actually probably only play 10 ball in this tournament, and that's why there's not a lot of difference in the handicap. Neither of these players, these 4 players, actually play a lot of 10 ball, apart from in the weekly tournament. So we'll have a quick reminder where everybody's from. Bill's from the States, we know that. Wink at Me is from Canada. Potman is from the UK. And Frankel says he's from the States, but I've got a sneaking suspicion he's from the UK as well. So called shot, and well, this is a bit ambitious from Potman. How he's going to get that 1 ball in at that angle, and the 8 ball blocking it, goodness knows. Well, this isn't a good table to try and run out, so Franco's going to have to play the combo here to open that pocket a bit. So he's playing the 1-8. And he's still persevering with this house cue for some reason. He must like the fact that it doesn't have as much weight of power in the shot, because it certainly doesn't. And he thinks he can actually play better with that. So Bill's played the safety, and that's pretty good, because I don't know whether Wink at Me can get the angle from that side. No, he's kicked from the other side. Didn't even give me time to get round there to look at it. And I think there's enough of the 1 ball shown here. That was a good little nudge off the 9. It's gone a wee bit farther for a comfortable shot in the 2. And Bill's going to have to do a wee bit with the cue ball here. And that little double kiss in the 5 helps. And now they're back in position. Franco will just nestle this 3 ball along the rail. He doesn't want to let the cue ball start running, because that 10 ball can be a bit of a hindrance. You've always got that in mind when you're playing this shot. And he's nudged into the 10, and it's now gone a bit out of shape here. And this is awkward. And that's where the problems start. As soon as you get out of line, I say it every week, you get out of line in one shot, you start getting out of line in everything else, and then you've got yourself in trouble. The pot man, let's have a look at that. Well, you can certainly squeeze that in. If he just comes off the jaw, he can kiss the 4. Doesn't know where the cue ball's going though. Well, I think he should have spun that off the jaw to let the cue ball run. Tried to get too delicate. And they've just thrown away their chance. Now, another bit of information for people who might watch this. When Virtual Pool 4 was in its testing phase, the Hard Times room had the most god-awful carpet. I mean, if you've ever seen any pool streams online from real tournaments, you'll notice that the carpets are garish, and I mean, they're actually, they induce migraines. They're all sorts of ugliness you could ever see. And I moaned and moaned and moaned about the carpet being horrible, and eventually Steve gave in. And this carpet we have is actually a replica of the carpet that is in the Steinway Billiards pool hall in New York. I think it's New York. It might be New Jersey, which is actually Earl Strickland's home pool room. So that's why we've got this carpet in Hard Times. So we're tied up at 1-1. And the 8 ball's gone in. No shot in the 1, so we're looking at a push out. Now, we say this every week as well, when you're playing a push out, you have to play something that, well, I think they're probably going to get put back in here. Bill's right over that 3 ball, and it's been pushed back. But you've got to play something that's maybe going to leave a tempter, but not leave your opponents in trouble, because all they're going to do is give it back to you, just like what's happened here. And the 4 ball was blocking the pocket anyway, so. And Potman, I think, put a bit of spin in the cue ball there when he was queuing over that 3, and now we've got ball in hand, so it's backfired. And Bill's pushback has given him ball in hand, and he's just studying the table to see where he wants to run this cue ball to get on the 2 ball. And they should be out. There's not a problem ball. It's just about cue ball control. Well, Frankel on this 4 ball needs to get the cue ball up to at least the middle pockets in the middle of the table. And that is pretty much what was required, although I think Bill's a bit straight, and he doesn't want to get too greedy here. He's just played a straight draw. Sometimes there might be a tiny angle and you try and steal a bit more, and then you just blow your chances. Now this is going to be a long 7 ball, because that 6 is a bit straight. So Frankel, well, I might try and force it down. He's going to try and squeeze an angle possibly here. Yes, he is. That isn't where he wanted to be. The Bill can still cut the 7 in, but the cue ball is now going to be running. And they should still be out though. Ten balls off the rail, so this is fairly easy. Just tuck it along the cush. So it's 2-1 to Bill and Frankel, and that rack, I thought it was, no, it actually looks quite straight. I thought it was a wee bit tilted to the left. Maybe it is. The 9 ball's going in a break. And they're on the 1. The 2 balls slightly impeded by the 5 ball over there on the left, just where Frankel's cue stick is. So he's got to play a good positional shot here, but there's a big area to get into between that 3 and 7 ball. And that's a good shot. I'm pretty certain he can get to the 2. Yep. Now, how's the angle in this 3? Because Frankel has to get back for the 4. And that's perfect again. He looks as is he drawing or is he going forward? No, he's tried to stun it, but he's got that all wrong. And that was a strange shot, because I think he thought he could force the cue ball back there with a stun shot, but there wasn't enough angle. So Only left Bill a safety. Well, I think Franco will be playing the 4-6 combo. And this has got to be more or less rolled onto the 6. Well, decided against it, didn't take the risk. And he's played a strong safety though. Puts the pressure on Potman. He's called the 4 into the same corner where the 6 is, which is a wise move because there's always a chance. But can he get to the 4? Well, Bill will play this into the middle. Cue ball might even run into the 6 here. Oh, he's going to scratch. Well, now there's the mistake. And wink at me and Potman trailing 2-1. And a golden opportunity to tie the match up. And Potman will just leave that cue ball somewhere in the corner there for his partner to roll the 7 into the left middle. And wink at me, I'll just kill the cue ball. Stop it exactly where the 7 is. Well, he decided to roll through. He's got a bit more angle on this Potman. He should get this. He shouldn't miss this. Well, Dizzle played the safety. Potman managed to get out of it. And Bill taking the 4 ball, that cut back into the middle. Let the cue ball run and scratched. And Potman and wink at me took their chance. So we're all square again. Dry this time. Well, the 2 ball's not going anywhere up in that end of the table. The 8 ball's blocking the pocket, so Frankel, I would expect, would be looking for a decent safety here. Is that going to run behind it 8 and 4? I think there's a little edge of that. We might even be able to see enough of that to pot it. Maybe not. I think he can get through the gap there. He doesn't seem to think, but there's enough room to get through the gap. Oh, he should have had a closer look at that. I'm pretty certain he can get the cue ball between there, but he's played the kick. Now, well, Bill's just going to try and thin the 1 and skim over to the left side. That's an easy kick. The wink at me would be better calling a pocket here. He could easily kick that into the right middle, unless he's just playing it thin. Well, there you go, he didn't call it. So that'll be a missed call. Or did he call it? I must have missed that there. Yeah, it is a missed call, yeah. Well, his partner agrees, I think. Yeah, I thought that. That's why I said, whenever you're playing a kick, and that's what I keep telling people as well, if you're playing a kick and the line that you're playing the kick gives the object ball a chance of going in, then you're better calling a pocket, just for safety's sake. And that was a perfect example of where it all goes wrong when you don't call a pocket. The potman has called the 2. He's missed that. Hit the 9. And now a chance with ball in hand for Bill and Frankel. And of course, with the match all square, that rack there, or that 4 ball that got kicked in but wasn't called, that could have been a significant rack to win. Let's have a look at the 6. Well, the 6 goes, there's no problem there. Frankel maybe looking to just draw back off the 5. Well, I don't think Bill can hit the 10 here. He's drawn back off it to avoid it, and that's a good shot. And it's a bit straight, but the 9 ball's down at the 8 ball end of the table here at the bottom of the screen, so that shouldn't be a problem. Now this should have a lot of English on it, and he didn't get enough on it. Played that with draw and bottom right hand English to punch the cue ball. The idea was to draw the cue ball back and punch it that way, but he never got enough in it, and that's possibly again because he's playing with the house cue. So Frankel and Bill's chance to run out there has gone for the time being. And wink at me. Well, he's not calling anything. Not at the moment, he's not. He's played the cut. The potman's got a thin one. The cue ball will certainly be running back up the table. Where's it going? Straight into the pocket. Well, there's 2 errors, and this time the second error has cost them the rack. The first error was not calling the 4 ball with the kick shot that went in, and then that scratch there by potman, and that settled the rack. Bill and Frankel go into the lead, 3 racks to 2. The 6 ball goes into the top left. They've got a shot on the 1, and the 2 ball will go, and the 3 ball squeezes past the 9 as well, plus it also goes into the other pocket in the left hand corner. Oh, that nearly went wrong. Now this needs a delicate touch, a little soft draw. Is Bill hampered by that 7 ball? He is slightly, but he should be okay. Here's the important one, and it's Franco playing the 4 ball, and he's got to get back on the 5. So if he plays the draw shot, he's very likely could block his partner off with that 10 ball or even the 9. So he might go forward. Hard to say what he can be able to do with this house cue. It looks like the draw. Oh, started early tonight. Well, he tried to. Well, he obviously saw a line getting to that 5 ball that I didn't see, and was worried obviously about playing the draw shot in case he blocked Bill off with that 10 ball. But it's a chance again for Potman, and wink at me. They took one earlier on in the match when a mistake was made by their opponents. Can they do it this time? Well, Potman just needs to get down in the bottom half of the table here. He needs to run the cue ball through off this 7. And he's got there. This should be fairly straightforward now. Drop onto the bottom rail and back out. Well, the mistakes have been made, and they have been punished by both teams. This time it's Potman and Wink at Me's turn. They've squared the match up again, 3 racks all, breaking open rack number 7. It's going to be Potman. There's something dropped here, I never seen it. But it was a 4 ball. And unfortunately, just a hook on the 1. And Wink at Me looking for the push. He's potting the 9. And he's left Bill a tempter on the 1 ball. Well, Bill had a bash at it. Look where the cue ball finished. It was getting nowhere down for the 2 ball. And look where the 2 balls now ended up. Now that 2 ball goes. But you've got to get here with the cue ball. Or here. Somewhere in this area. To be able to make that cut. And Potman. Well, that's changed things. Oops, wrong one. What the hell have I done here? That's better. Well, this time Franco's played a good positional shot. Got the cue ball back to the ideal position. Dead straight in the 6. And Bill's going to be left with a tough one unless Franco can really draw into this. He's going to try and draw back into the top half of the table up by the 10 ball. Nope. Well, he's leaving him at distance. This is not easy. I thought he'd have been better drawing up the table and leaving Bill the 7 ball into the middle like that, and then it would have been easier to drop onto the 8. And Bill's got it. And this time, no problems. A little bit of a cut back in the 10. But this for 4-3. So Bill breaking off in rack number 8. Bill and Frank will need one more. A couple of balls will get in. The 4 ball and the 8 ball in the bottom left and right pockets. And not a great shot on the 1. Now Franco has an angle to play the safety. Well, he's gone the short side here, and that's a great shot. Excellent safety. Wink at me's missed a kick, and there's a result in. And Senny and Magic Q have been beaten by 5 racks to 3 by Atrito and Tommy U. Well, Bill and Franco at this stage are going to have to work a bit. Not a gimme this 2 ball, but the cue ball's got to get back across for the 3. And once again, another good positional shot. Franco can pot the 5. Presume he's got a slight angle where he can just send the cue ball out into the table. Now here's the important one, because the 7 ball goes past the 9 and the 10. There's no doubt about that. And Bill can squeeze a bit of an angle here if he wants to try and get behind the 7. Well, he's come out into the middle of the table. He could have actually squeezed a bit of an angle to get the cue ball in there so the 7 could be taken into the corner. But he didn't bother. This is going to have to be a good shot to get right over to the left-hand side for this 9 ball. He's got a very narrow window to fit this cue ball into to get to the 9, and that looks again a perfect shot. And Bill has the angle to run the cue ball. Well, he's not even bothering with that, he's just leaving the long 10, but he could have ran the cue ball around for the 10 into the same pocket. But this for the match. So in it goes, and Frankel and Bill have beaten Popman and Wink at Me by 5 racks to 3. And we'll look at the bracket, and that bracket is just going to be updated in a second or two. And we're going to watch Tommy U and Atrito and see how they handle Bill and Frankel. Just waiting on all the players getting in. Of course, when you've been playing a match for about 40 minutes, you might need to go and get a drink, might need to go to the bathroom. You've got that 5 minutes to get into the room. Now, I wonder if there'll be a handicap in this match. So we're waiting on Franco getting in. But, I mean, these two guys, Trito and Tommy Yu, you know, they should be good enough players to get some racks off Bill and Frankel if they take their chances. Right, here we go. All the players are in. We're lagging off for the break. So it's Trito and Mr. Bill lagging off, I assume. Well, Franco's asking if it's the final. It's only the second round. He's way ahead of himself. And the 2-ball all the way around the table into the top left hand corner, and a shot in the 1, and once again no handicap. We're playing a scratch match, race to 5, and another quick look at that bracket. On the 1 loss side we've got Senny and Magic One playing Potman and Wink at Me. Five ball goes past the 9. So Franco play a draw off the 4. Well, he's played the stun, and that's now giving Bill a problem, because Bill's going to collide with a 7 ball and things could get out of line here. And he's collided with the 7, and now they're out of shape. Now Franco, well, he's got to look for cover unless he's going to call something here. And that just because Franco didn't get back far enough on that 6 ball. He stunned it, he didn't get any draw into it at all, and left Bill too high on it, and he couldn't avoid hitting the 7. Well, Franco's played the bank. I presume he called it. I never seen it. Well, that's clever. Meant it, didn't call. You can't say that in 10 ball. Well, a little bit of a fiddly one here as well. You've got to be brave enough to get that cue ball down far enough to get onto the 9. And Franco's played it perfect. Well, he's slightly the other side of it, but there shouldn't be any problem for Bill just to run through. So Bill and Franco going to win the first rack. And the stream's still looking excellent. Franco's come up dry. And Atrito can play the 1-6 billiard off the 1 onto the 6. But he doesn't know where the 1 ball's going if he plays that. He might cut the 1 onto the 6, but I think it's a lot easier to play the billiard. Just brush that 1 and nudge the 6 in, but not brush it too hard to let the 1 ball run away. And that's clever thinking, because that at least leaves his partner a shot in the 1 down the rail. Plus there's an angle to get the cue ball through and just out onto the 2. Oops. Wrong tab. Get my little plug in. Let's see if Tommy, you and Atrito can hold themselves together here. Well, Atrito can get a bit of deep draw into the 4, but not a lot of power, and he can easily get the cue ball up for the 5 ball just between the 7 and the 9. Maybe even down past the 7 on the rail. He's played the soft draw. Has he nudged that 7 hard enough? Let's have a look. Yes, he has. But that was exactly the way I was talking about playing that shot. So Atrito and Tommy are in command here to win this second rack, provided Atrito can cut that 7 down the rail. His partner's got to be on the 8 ball. And a little bit of bottom and left you put on the cue ball just to bring it back that way into the table. And he's following the line. And his partner's got a slight angle, and with that slight angle you can do a sort of stun draw shot. Just get the cue ball up the table. You don't need to put a lot of juice into it, just enough to get it up the table. And he's overdone it, and he's going to scratch. Oh, that's poor. And that shot that he played there was because he just went far too much into the cue ball. You just need to play those shots half a cue tip below the equator, so that the weight of shot will get you that little draw that you want, but not too much. So the basic error on a draw shot there is getting too much juice into it when you don't want it. And you've got to learn to control those type of shots to give you better control of your cue ball. That's what let them down there. So it's 2-0 to Franco and Bill. And you have to say that was a gilt-edged opportunity, that rack. They should have took that out. And Bill playing that with a lot of left English to check the cue ball and avoid running into the 7 and the 10. He's managed that. But Franco, with the weak house cue, has to get onto this 5 ball off the 4. And that's a bit short. It's putting pressure on his partner. Got the thin cut. And Bill's running all over the place. But at least Franco can see the 6. And he's going to try and... Well, is he going to call the kick? Or is he going to try and thin it and come in behind the 10? I don't know whether he can actually do that, whether he can get it thin enough. We'll soon find out. Well, that little nudge on the 10 has actually helped. It's just taken that wee bit of pace off the cue ball. And Tommy U's going to have to get a bit of spit. He needs to jack the butt up a little bit here, I think, as well. No. Well, he just left it in the open. Perfect angle. Cue ball can just go that way and out for the 9. Well, he's leaving it short, which I suppose is actually a better shot anyway, because the angle he's got on the 9 allows Franco to run the cue ball up the table. But had he not got that angle, they would have had to work it, but that will do. Now this is worrying for Tommy Yu and Atrito. They're going to have to get themselves into this match one way or another. But they're running out of racks. It's 3-0. Nothing down in the break. Those little collisions with the cue ball there have helped it at least stay on the 2. But look where the 3 is. Tommy's going to have to run the cue ball again. A lot of work to get done here to get on the 3. And that looks not bad. Now, Atrito has a choice. He can try and do something silly with the cue ball, or he can do the sensible thing and run the cue ball off the rail and back up and try and leave his partner a 4-9 combo. Let's have a look at the angle he's got. Well, he can do that. Well, I don't know what he's tried there. I mean, is he trying to leave his partner a 4-10 combo? I mean, he's not asking a lot. So Tommy Yu did the sensible thing, and he's played the safety. And Bill needs to get his left hand spin judged here, and too much and he'll hit the 9, and that's exactly what he's done. But no real damage done because the 4 ball's tied up behind the 7. Now, if Atrito can get this very thin and not move that 4 ball, just tuck it right behind the 7, we could be looking at a 3 foul opportunity here. And that's a better shot, because now the path to the 4 ball is blocked. And, well, Franco more than likely going to play the deliberate foul, I would think, and just try and tie something up. But they'll be on 2 fouls, so there might be a 3 foul opportunity. Well, he seemed to think he could squeeze past, but He's actually, I don't know whether he thought he could squeeze past, but he's done the right thing. He's tied the 7 and the 10 ball up. And now Tommy Yu has a straight choice. He's going to try and get back behind the 9, I think. I presume he is, or is he going to try and pot the 4? It's hard to judge. Well, he's done the worst possible thing he could have done, and that's split the 7 and 10 and left the 4 on. Not a good shot, Tommy. You've just sold yourself down the Swanee River here, I think. So, Bill, lots of follow, I think. Now, let's see what he's got here. Now, Frankel, well, he's got a choice. He can try and stun out, or he can just run through and leave the cue ball on the 8 into that corner. That's what he's trying. And that's good enough. Bill can get the cue ball off that top short rail, back up for the 9. And this is all too easy for Frankel and Bill at the moment. I mean, that was a badly judged safety there by Tommy. And the one thing you don't want to do is when you've got a couple of balls tied up, it's like a safety net. So the run out wasn't on. So the best thing to do was to get distance between the cue ball and the object ball, and all he did was split the 2 problem balls up and made it easy for Bill and Frankel. Not good strategy, I'm afraid. So it's 4-0, race to 5. And the winner of this will be in the hot seat in the final. Dry break. Now, that 2 ball is tight, but it does go. But he's got to be careful. If he overcompensates, he's going to hit it to the jaw. And the cue ball's got to run up the table for that 3. That'll do. That's just getting there. Now, whatever you do, Tommy, get the cue ball across the table twice, off there and back out, and don't hook yourself behind the 9. Well, he played it the gentle way. He's got on it. Good shot and a good angle. Oh, he's going to nudge it to the rail, and it's out of line. Well, Tommy, what do you do here? He's playing the safety. Not a bad effort. Frankel has a chance to get the cue ball up with the 7 and the 10 here if he wants. And there's the other result come through. And Potman and Wink at Me have beaten Magic Q and Senny by 3 racks to 1 on the one loss side. And he's played that perfect. That's a great shot. But he's nudged the 7 closer to the rail, and that makes it more difficult. And this isn't a difficult shot to jump and hit the 6. And he could actually, if he hits this right, he could bank the 6 back up towards the 10 and the 7. At least get it past the middle pocket and he should be safe. He might even be going for the pot. Well, a good shot, but that's unlucky. He scratched. And now with ball in hand, that cue ball can just fit in there, in the donut, to cut that 7 in. And the 8 ball sitting there at the top end, so this match is over, I'm afraid. And Tommy Yu and Atrito are going to have to fight their way through on the one loss side. But the bad news for them is, if they do, they're going to end up meeting this pair again. And just a little drop in the 9. It's all too simple. So Bill and Frankel have handed Tommy Yu and Atrito the bagel, as they say, and won the match by 5 racks to 0. And under no pressure at all. So let's see how the bracket shapes up. Now, Tommy Yu and Atrito are just about to make up the bracket here, and we're going to see the one loss side final, because the winner of that match is then going to have to play Bill and Frankel in tonight's final. And it's a short race to 3 racks in the one loss side. And we're just waiting on one more player joining the room. So here we go with the lag. Potman and Atrito lagging off. I don't know what one's what. That's weird. They heard the cue ball dropping there before it went into the pocket. So Atrito has won the lag. Now is Potman calling the bank, because I think that's all he's got on here. And that's a tight squeeze past the 4 ball as well. Probably better just looking for the safety. Well, he's looking to nudge that 2 in off the 1. And he's got that wrong. But he's got it right in one way because he's got it safe. Tommy Yu going to play the jump, I think, over the 3 ball to make the 1-9 combo into that bottom left hand corner. And that was a great shot. That's an excellent shot. But it's all very well getting that one good shot. You've got to make the most of it. 2 ball hanging over the left middle, 3 ball in the open on the right hand side. All the balls in the open, no excuse why they shouldn't run out. But straight away Tommy is going to have to let the cue ball run because you get too much of an angle in the 2 and he could run into something here if he's not careful. And he's hit the 8. And it's a thin cut in the 3. Well, difficult to say what Atrito did there. Was he playing a bank? If he did, he wasn't calling it. But he's got it safe. Me kicks at the 3. And he's left it on. So second chance for Tommy and Atrito. And really there's nothing different. The balls are in the open. They got themselves out of line the first chance they had. Let's see what they can do this time. Need to get the cue ball out. Well, he's made sure of it, but he's left a big distance here. And now Tommy has to be clear in his mind what he's trying to do with the cue ball here, because I think he's straight on this 7. There's a slight angle, but he's leaving his partner at a distance, and this is not easy. This is not where you want to be playing this 8 ball from. He's putting a lot of pressure on his partner. This is a tough enough 8 ball as it is, but you've got to get the cue ball across for the 10. And that was well played, considering the circumstances. Now can Tommy roll the 10 in, get themselves on the board, off and running. Well, there you go. It took them 2 chances, but they got there. And keep reminding you, it's only a race to 3, so always important to get the first rack in the board in such a short race. Well, a couple of balls went into that top right hand corner. The 5 was one of them. And the 3 was the other one. And a good chance for Tommy to get a safety here. The angle's not good to get back up to the 2 off this one. If he pots that one, well, he's overcut it. But it's safe for the time being, although they could be in trouble. If Potman gets the 1 thin enough, he can tuck it behind the 7 and the 6. Or leave, well, he's chose the other way, and he's not achieved anything there. Because I think he can see an edge of that 1. Or can he? No, he can't. It ends up, it was a good shot. It was a good shot, better than I thought it was. fact, this is now Wink at Me and Potman's chance. All the balls are there. There isn't a problem at the table. The only problems you'll get are the ones you make yourself. Now Potman could try and get cute here and stop the cue ball to have a shot in the 4 from there, or he could go over here where there's plenty of room. Great big area to get the cue ball in. And he's forgot about the 2. Well, there's all the encouragement you need, Tommy and Atrito. 2 balls been hung up. You're coming to the table with all the balls there for the taking. And it's up to yourselves to take care of it. And a good bit of topping the cue ball here. Get it off the rail and out for the 6. Oh, he's chickened out there. Left that a mile short. And left nothing but the safety for Tommy. And he's played a good one. But you can see where these players are falling short, and it's in position, and that's where Bill and Frankel are at a different level compared to pretty much every other team in this tournament, and that's what should win them the tournament. Because even when these other guys are getting chances, they're very quickly getting themselves out of line and leaving themselves an awful lot to do, or leaving themselves no shot at all. And once again, nothing there for Tommy other than just a safety. But this is a crucial rack, considering it's only the race to 3, and if Atrito and Tommy can sneak it, they'll be sitting high and dry, needing just one more. And I would say, let's have a look. Oh, he's went to nominate. Well, I don't think he can see enough of the 7. Is he trying to get past that 9? Now, did he call the 8 there? He did call the 8. Well, that's turned out an excellent shot. And what's more, Potman has got a fairly straight in 7 ball. Now, can he stop this cue ball for the 9 into the right middle? Just a gentle pot on the 7. And that will do. And Tommy can just squeeze the cue ball. And he's got a very slight angle he can steal there for that 10 ball. Just stun it. Well, he's not even bothering with that. He's chosen to leave it straight. Maybe he wasn't wanting to take any risks. Well, it's not perfectly straight. It's not a straight in 10, but comfortably potted by Potman, so we're all square again. We've got a bit of a mess at the top right hand end. Now, Tommy Yu, is he playing the 1 onto the 3? He's called it. And a good weight there just to keep the one ball adjacent to the pocket. And it's more than likely going to have to be a 5-9 combo up at this side of the table. And a 4-6 at this side of the table. That's not asking a lot. Oh, it just creeps in, and the 4 ball is still there. But now, Tommy, you've got to get the cue ball out into the table somewhere over here. Well, he's gone the short side, not even leaving the combo. He's played a great shot. That's much better than I thought he was thinking and doing. And there wasn't much room to get that cue ball in there onto that 5, so that was probably one of his best shots tonight. Now you want to just punch this in a bit to get the cue ball off that rail. And that's the right shot. Get it away from there. And his partner can do the same thing. He can punch the 9 in. He's playing this with right English. Got to watch you don't get too much juice in it. But another good shot from Tommy. And this is a good response in rack number 3. So into the lead. Tommy Ewan Atrito by 2 racks to 1 and breaking off in rack number 4. Dry break. No shot for Potman, so he's just calling the push. Now, what's he thinking and doing here? Well, that's not a bad one. He's left. Well, has he left an edge of that one? No, he hasn't. They're going to be put back in, I think. Exactly, they are. But it's easy to kick at the 1. You can spin past the 3 from the right hand side of the 3. I don't know why he's going the left hand side. Now he's managed to get it, and that spin might work for them. Oh yes, it certainly has. Well, an easy kick for Atrito as well. And if he hits this full in the face, he could leave the cue ball there and send that 1 ball up the table. And he's looking at trying to hit the 1 full in the face and banking it off the right side rail and into that top left hand corner. Always a good idea though. Well, he's got that all wrong. Drew on to the 8 and potted the 8 and the cue ball. Well, if the pressure's not on Potman and Wink at Me, it'll never be on them. They're trailing 2-1 in a race to 3. They've got ball in hand, and they've simply got to run out. And that's 6 ball. Plenty of room past the 9. No worries there. All the balls are there. And that's a good little draw. Nice angle in the 3 to drop down onto the 4, but don't go dead straight on the rail. That's the one thing you don't want to do. And he's made sure of that. And wink at me's got a perfect angle. He can run around the corner here with the cue ball if he wants. He's got a couple of choices. He's gone around. He's bouncing off that rail. And, well, there's more than enough angle there for Potman to stun this 5 in. He doesn't want to be running forward with the cue ball, because that's just trying your luck here. If he's running forward, he's got to miss the 9, but he's not even doing that. And this is they're out of shape. That wasn't the shot. He had to stun that in. There was an angle there to stun that ball in, and the cue ball off the rail and up. And this is just going wrong. It's asking a lot to leave your partner these sort of shots. And that double kiss on the 9 has put them really out of line now. And Potman has to either call the bank or get this safe. One of the two. He's called it into the right middle. And it has to go, or he has to get really lucky. And it's gone into the wrong pocket, so the 7 ball has gone. Tommy Yu pots a 9, and Atrito just has to roll in the 10, and they're through to the final. And they win the match by 3 racks to 1. So, we'll see the bracket, and we can see that Atrito and Tommy Yu are going to have to put up a much better performance than they did in the first match against Bill and Franco, because they lost that 5-0, remember, but that's tonight's final. Mr. Bill and Franco are going to replay Atrito and Tommy Yu, and it's a winner takes all final, because the V dollars is $480 split between the two players in the winning team. Now what one's what here? There's 2 rooms up. Somebody's fallen asleep in one of them. Oh no, wait a minute, hang on, that's the right one. And I think I'm in first. Either that or I'm in the wrong loop. I'll say that again, wrong room. And the final, according to that, is a race to 5 as well. Yes, it is. Single final. And this tournament has been on for, well, it's only an hour and 24 minutes. So it's moving along quite briskly, considering there was only 4 teams in anyway, but it's going to be an early finish. So let's see if Tommy and his partner can put up a better fist of it in this final. They've got their work cut out, mind you. Bill and Franco, strong favourites, no doubt about that. And of course, they won't be getting a handicap either, they'll be getting nothing. So this is where they've got to work for their victory. And Frankel is sitting there in the lobby, I presume, And he's just going to wait until the alarm reminds him that the room is up. Presume he is. Yeah, he's sitting in away mode. So hopefully he's planning that as part of his strategy, because as I mentioned before, if both players aren't in the room by the time 5 minutes has gone by, they will forfeit the final. So Bill will be getting worried. Well, here we go. And it's Bill and a Trito lagging off. And Bill's on the right hand side because I know his cue. And Bill is going to win the lag. So, this is the winner takes all final. Bill's broke off. He's come up dry, but straight away, this is where a Trito and Tommy could make a statement here. The balls are all there. Nothing is a problem. It's just getting onto them. And a Trito's got a bit more of an angle than he really would have wanted on that one, but he's managed to draw into the rail. Got a nudge on the 7, but he's still okay. But here's the problem for Tommy, is getting his partner on that 3 ball, and the 9 has worked in their favour this time. That little kiss off the 9, pushing the cue ball around the corner, and he's got his partner on the 3. And they've got to take their time, use their shot clock. And that's gone wrong. Oh dear. A big area to put the cue ball into, and he stuck it behind a 10. And Tommy's going to have to jump this. Oh, that's a good shot. It's a straight enough shot, but he's under pressure because they know what they're up against. Two very strong players. Now Tommy can just stop the cue ball where that 6 ball is. He needs to kill it because the angle's there in a 7 to get the cue ball back for the 8. So he has to kill the cue ball. He can't let it run. You don't need a big draw, just a stop. And that's the shot. That's now got his partner perfect in the 7. And a Trito can bring the cue ball between the 8 and the 10 ball here. He's got the angle to do it. But he's played a little soft draw. It's another way of getting there, and it's still in prime position. Now here's the troublesome one. This is where it all goes wrong for a lot of times. You play too much juice into it and the cue ball runs past the 10. The angle's there to bring that cue ball up to here. Well, he's checked it a bit more than he would like, and he's left Tommy an awkward angle. Well, here's a tester for you. And it's well done. And that's an important first rack to win, considering they get beat 5-0 in the first match. That was well done, both of them. Now, I think the 3 ball went flying into the bottom left there. And another shot in the 1 ball. Now a little draw off the 1. Just watch you don't get into this too much and scratch the middle pocket. In fact, he might not even have to. He might just be able to nudge off the rail and still leave his partner a shot in the 2. Yeah, he's tried to play the delicate little draw. And Franco is left with just an edge of the 1 showing, I think, if anything. Now, has he got a jump cue? We'll soon find out. I think he's definitely got a jump cue. He just likes playing with a house cue. But he's gone for cover. Well, let's see what it looks like. Well, that's easy enough to hit. A little bit of swerve and you'll be able to hit the 1. You just got to chance your arm that you get lucky. No, he managed to be able to see an edge of it. Well, Bill, no doubt, will be going for the cut. And that's going behind the 10, is it? Yes, I think it is. Now, can he? Maybe he hasn't. Let's have a look. I better get right down behind the shot. No, he can't get to it. You know, and lo and behold, Franco's found his jump cue. And well controlled. Now, how does Bill get his partner on this 5? Oh, he's played that perfect. It's maybe a bit straight, but at least he's got him on the 5. It was a delicate shot just to roll that cue ball through there. Botman right English to spin it up. It's going a wee bit farther than he wanted. A bit too much spin there. But Bill can nudge into the 9 and hold for the 7 with this shot. And that will do. The angle's there as well. Franco can drop down onto the 8, no problem. 9 hanging over the pocket, so this match is tied up, barring a total disaster. So it'll be Franco breaking off in rack number 3. Match all square. And breaking off with his break cue. Well, nothing down. But it's safe. Just a push out here for a Trito. Well, poor Tommy could find himself in trouble here behind that 8 and 9 if Bill gets this right. Or he could punch the one up the table and use those balls in the middle for cover, which is what he's done. So again, not a well thought out push out. But Tommy's got the kick and he's got it safe. Oh, Franco's missed the kick. Well, I'll say it again. They're all there. You don't have to move anything. They're all sitting there with a pocket to go into. And Atrito has gone short on the 2 there. He wanted to come back a bit further. And this is going to need a little delicate shot here from Tommy, just to stop that cue ball running away. And that's why he's going all over the place there. And it went wrong straight away. He'd have been better playing ball in hand with the 2 ball into the right middle. And that way the cue ball was going to cross and leaving a much easier 2. So straight away they've blown their chance, and that's not good. There's no excuse for that with ball in hand. That's not putting their opponents in any sort of dread. Well, this is not ideal. Pretty much dead straight on the 5. And it's in no man's land. Now what do you do, Bill? You go all out for that cut. It looks likely. He's played it well. Good shot. Got himself back into line. Well, this rack's all over. This is meat and drink. Just drop in behind the 9. But it could have been a different story. I mean, there's just no excuse when you've got ball in hand and you've got a chance to line up the first ball so that you can leave your partner on the next ball, and to make a duff effort and leave it short in the 2 because he potted the first ball into the wrong pocket for a start. It just was not the shot. And it proves the point that you don't try and draw for position on delicate shots like that, because he left it way short and put Tommy under pressure. And Tommy missed the 2, and before you know it, it's 2 racks to 1. Now the 4 balls get in. There's a billiard on to the 6 if it gets called, but he's called the 1. No, he hasn't called the 1. It's the ball that's on. He's just playing safe, trying to nudge in behind the 6. How does that look? That looks pretty good. Easy enough kick though. And if a Trito plays this not too hard, it could easily leave a snooker. If he gets this half ball, cue ball could drop back in behind the 10 and the 3. And that's what he tried. He got it too full, but he had the right idea in mind there. And of course they've not hit a rail, and it's going to be Bill going for a 110 combo. Well, Bill's missed that. We've got a mess there on the right hand side. The 2, the 3 and the 8 are all tied up. So Tommy looking to punch the one round the table, I would think, and bring that cue ball in behind the 8 and the 3, and that's a good shot. And the other thing is, let's have a look at this 2 and 3. Now, that 2 and 3 could possibly be a combo in off the 6. In fact, unless whoever pots the one ball has an angle to get in and split that 2 and 3, that's what you're going to have to play. So that's Frankel and Bill's extension gone. Frankel's managed to get the jump. Of course, he's no chance of getting in a 2, and Bill's stuck behind the 8. Now he's going to jump over the 8, bank off that end rail, and kick the 2 onto the 3 and the 3 off the 6. This will be a good shot. And he just could not get enough juice into it. Well, that changes it now, because it's the 3 definitely goes. A Trito has to pot the 2 and get the cue ball over to the right hand side. There's a whole half of a table to be using here to get on that 3. Now this would have been easy if the 5 went past the 7 into the middle, which it doesn't, of course. And this is a pressure shot into a blind pocket. You're not looking at the pot. You're having to pick your line, and this rack all hinges in this 5 ball. And he's overdone it. And if Frankel can pot the 5 and give Bill a sight in this 6, you'd have to say this is all done and dusted, this rack. And he's got there. Still not a cinch. Bill's just got to get the cue ball out of that corner. He can actually just drop between the 8 and the 10 here, which is exactly what he's done. And run in the 8, get the cue ball back out for the 10 into the middle or into this bottom right hand corner pocket as we look. Frankel telling his partner he wants it into the middle. So it's 3-1. And that's 3 racks in a row for Bill and Frankel after having lost that first one. I've got another dry one. And the cue ball hampered by that 8, I think. Well, you can get to it fairly easily enough. Well, look at the window that a Trito has to get on this 3-ball. A very narrow window between the 8 and the 6-ball. Well, whatever he tried here, he didn't get it half right. And Tommy can just go to the long grass at the top end of the table, looking for cover. But he's left the 3 showing, and we know Bill's going to go for this. But he's got to play this in such a way to somehow get that cue ball down that side of the table for the 4. And a nice little kiss would come in handy. Well, he hasn't got the kiss, but Franco can still thin cut that in. I don't think he fancies it. I think he looks as if he's going to punch it up the table, possibly, is he? Well, he's using the 10 for cover. Another well thought out safety. Excellent. And it's really putting pressure on their opponents. A Trito calling the 4 into the bottom right hand corner, so he's going to be out with the jump stick in a second. Couldn't get over the 10 in this match already. Looking as if it's going to be slipping away for Tommy and a Trito. Ball in hand for Bill. Just a straight roll through and leave an angle for Franco to pot the 5. I think he's going to end up straight. Don't think you can get much straighter than that. So Bill's going to be left at distance here unless Franco try. Well, no, there is an angle. Thought he was dead straight. No, he's got an angle. He's still at distance. The chances are Bill won't be doing anything spectacular other than running through and leaving Franco that 7-ball into the right middle. No, he's not got there, I don't think. Oh, then. Is there enough showing to pot that? I think there might be enough showing. Yes, and it goes. Well, Bill's needing another good thin one. Oh, well, that nudge. There's still a glimmer of a chance here for Tommy and a Trito. This isn't an easy 9-ball. But in it goes clean, and Bill sitting in a straightforward enough 10-ball for 4-1. So the 2 ball has gone in. No shot in the 1. Push out has been called. Well, Tommy's got a choice. Play the shot or pass it back. But if he's going to play the shot, he's got to play a good safety. Oh, he's passed it back. Well, Tommy's got a safety here, but this is a dangerous safety. He can try and spin the cue ball in behind the 3 and the 4, but if he doesn't get it, the other one's not going up past the middle pocket, and that's the problem. And Frankel will jump that to pot the 1. That was always a danger with that shot. The weight that you had to play the shot at to get the cue ball in behind those balls was meaning that the 1 ball wasn't travelling far, and if he didn't get the cover, he was going to leave a shot at the 1 ball. Admittedly, he got the cover, but it was an easy jump for Frankel. Well, Bill's called a cross bank here. I don't see how that's going to go in. The 4's actually gone in, so that's a missed call. So Atrito has a shot in the 3. Now, can he get his partner a 5-10 combo lined up here? That's probably their best bet for getting another rack in the board, because it's going to have to be a good shot to get the other side of that 5 ball up next to the 10 to take it down to this bottom right hand corner pocket. So what does he do? Well, there's no doubt what he's played. He's done the best he can, and he's left Tommy the 5-10 combo. Now, you would say this to stay in the match. And he's played it well. So they're still in, trailing 4-2 with the break in rack number 7. And the 3 ball's gone in. And they've got a shot on the 1, and he can draw up for the 2, and the 2 goes past the 5. Oh, he's not getting to that enough. You've got to get more juice into it. And immediately they're in trouble, because Atrito's left with a shot in the 2. The 2 does go, we know that, but I mean, it's not a comfortable shot. But the cue ball should be going back up for the 4 into the same pocket. So you've just got to line it up and go for it 100%. And that's well done. And Tommy's got another one to drop onto the 5. Now, how is it looking? Well, there's plenty of room to spin the cue. He's drawing back, but he can actually play that with top left English to get the cue ball out into the middle of the table, but he's punched it with a bit of bottom left. That'll do. Yes, we'd asked Redback to extend the shot clock a bit in this tournament. It's only 30 seconds when you've got to call a shot, and he never adjusted it to 45. Or he forgot to do it. Well, they're out of line again, and the match is over. Tommy's missed the kick. He called the 8 into the corner, and it's ball in hand for Frankel. Well, at least they got 2 racks on the board. That's better than 2 5-0 hammerings. And Frankel just a rolling in the 10, and it's all over. So Mr. Bill and Frankel, the strong favourites, have done exactly what I thought they'd do, and they've won this week's 10-ball Scotch doubles, winning the final against Atrito and Tommy Yu by 5 racks to 2. Well, folks, that was about, what, just under 2 hours, and the tournament's over. So thanks for those that were watching, if there were any, and we will see you again soon.